is your main man, Vapin Minuteman, just coming right here at you on the main Vape News Network. We are just bringing to you everything that we can, as much as we can, as fast as we can. But you know what? We're going to give it to you, and we're going to lay it out for you to play it out. So stick around right here after this commercial break. We'll get right into it. So good morning!
And we are live once again on Good Morning NVR. How is everybody this amazing morning? We are having a great day today. I mean, I am by myself today, so let me readjust this screen just a little bit because my head is cut off. So I'm going to readjust it so that you guys can actually see my beautiful face. But how is everybody today? We have a lot to talk about. And first off, just to remind everybody, Anthony had to take this week and next week off. He is going to DC. He is going to be at the DC rally next week. And this week he just had to take off for some work. So hopefully next week, or well, not next week, but the week after, we'll see him back here. Hopefully. Doubtful from what he was saying Sunday night, but hopefully we'll see him here next week. But let's get into the great discussion today. Now, first and foremost, Kitty, I might need your help. I know you are in our notification chat. If you're using your computer and you can access Facebook, one of the links for the OMB, which is in our notification chat, if you could post that here later for me, that would be great. But if not, I understand for some reason either my computer is being very, very slow or the OMB's website is being very, very slow. So I don't know which it is. I'm going to try it ever so often throughout the show today, just to see if I can ever get connected, but it has been screwing up like crazy. Now, there has been, given the issue with the OMB, now, first and foremost, for those of you that do not know, the OMB is the Office of Management and Budget. And in order for things to come out, okay, great. But in order for things to come out and be actually enforced, they have to go through the OMB because they have to look at it and see the economic impact. Well, Congressman Raja, which I'm only using his first name, his last name is just like crazy. And I ain't trying to pronounce it. It's because I would screw it up. But I know his first name is Raja. But Congressman Raja, he sent a letter to the Office of Management and Budget stating that he wanted to see them actually move up within 10 days and approve the flavor ban. I don't even like using that term, flavor ban, but because it's really not a flavor ban. We've talked about that multiple times on this show, about the reason it's not technically a flavor ban. But I'm not going to go into that detail again today. I go into that detail enough on this show. But Congressman Raja sent them this letter saying that they should be able to clear it within the 10-day mark. Well, guess when the 10-day mark would be? Next Friday, or this coming Friday. which is November 8th. Well, the Office of Management and Budget, when they're figuring something out, they take meetings. And they will meet with individuals who are impacted by the legislation. And Kitty, if you can get that link for me, it'd be great. It was, I think Thursday is when I sent it. And I was actually a little premature even with that. Because when I said something, there were only 6. Now there are close to 15. It's 2 pages worth of meetings. And they have meetings all the way to the 15th. Now, on Twitter, just this last week, somebody screwed up drastically because an individual named Jonathan Swan, he is a journalist, and he put out a tweet just this last week stating that the administration planned to finalize the bill as a ban on almost all flavored vaping products, with the exception of tobacco and menthol, according to sources familiar with the plan, and that the announcement was expected before the 8th. Well, he said next week, but he means before the 8th. How in the world, unless the Office of Management and Budget, which they would be stupid to allow it to happen, and Trump would be stupid to do it, unless he bypassed the OMB to actually put it out before the Office of Management and Budget gave their opinion on it, which is rare. That is what would have to happen in order for this to happen. It ain't happening. And I'll go ahead and, for those of you that follow Twitter and those of you that do Twitter, I'll go ahead and share the tweet just so you guys can see it. Because guys, I try to always give you links to everything I talk about. Because it is important. Now, like I said, it was all the way in Thursday or Friday is when I sent it. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It was before DIY with Professor Minuteman. If you see DIY with Professor Minuteman, that's when it was. It's right before that. So it was a little bit back. And I've been keeping an eye on it myself. Like crazy. Because I want to know how many there is. I don't know if it's the Office of Management and Budget is just slammed with people looking at it, or if it's my internet. It could be my internet. Who knows? But this Jonathan guy, he has caused panic in this industry. He really has. Because you have even the VTA coming out and saying that there's a possibility it'll come out next week. I saw that last night when I was doing the looking. Let me see if I have the link for that as well. No, I don't have the link for that. But, and the funniest part about it is, even public health groups, as usual, are trying to apply pressure for the administration to follow through with their vaping flavor ban. They really are. A lot of our more than 50 organizations are pressuring the administration to follow through with their plan. And it's not the plan that we know is probably coming, which would include menthol and tobacco outside of that plan, to where you could have tobacco, menthol, and mint. They want to include that in the flavor ban. And this is the article by CNN. And that was actually put out on Tuesday, on the 29th. I mean, there's been a lot of news coming out this week. I kind of wish that he would have been here because there is a lot of news. It would say Reg Info. It's right before DIY with Professor Minuteman. Right before that. Let me see if I can get it to open this time. Because Facebook, you have to open it and then copy the link. Because Facebook has their own algorithms. It's like right before the DIY with Professor Minuteman punch that I put out there with the special guest DIY Down Under. It's not that far in. It's like right toward the bottom. Let me see if I can tag you in it, Kitty. No, I can't tag you. But yeah, it's like just right over DIY with Professor Minuteman. It's toward the bottom. But hold on, I got an idea, Trigger. Give me a second. Okay. I'm going to forward it to you. There you go. It's being forwarded to you, so you'll have it directly in a link. See if you can get in there, because I couldn't. But let me pull back up my notes, because today is crazy. And actually, we had another victory. This week has been full of victories, believe it or not. Even though we've had some downfalls, there has been a lot of... Hey, Steven, good to see you. Mike Bloomberg, or I'm sorry, Ethan Nadelman went after Mike Bloomberg. Now, for those of you that don't know who Ethan Nadelman is, he is the founder and former executive director of the Drug Policy Alliance. He actually went after, like I said, Mike Bloomberg. And he said Mike Bloomberg will go down in history for perpetrating a fraud that already is resulting in a major step backward for global public health, an urgent need to cut cigarette consumption. It wasn't big tobacco that said vaping is safer than cigarettes. It's the science, stupid. So even somebody that was working with a drug alliance is now supporting us. That is a huge victory. And for any of you that are on Twitter, okay, good, it's not just me. Because here's the thing. Any of you that are on Twitter with these links I'm sharing, make sure to retweet them. Because, or well, not the first one, but if you want to retweet it, but comment about it. Tell him how stupid he is to say that. And, you know, the sad part is people that are actually panicking over this are panicking because the biggest fraud in journalism took that and ran with it. You all know who I'm talking about. McDonald. He did an article stating it was the facts, when it's not. Trump would be stupid to go ahead of the OMB before they were done. And they have meetings till the 18th. And I'm telling you right now, the OMB, the fact that there's 12 to 15 people, or 12 to 15 meetings scheduled, I want to know, how many of those 12 to 15 do you think are actual individuals that are anti-vape? I want to hear from the comments. How many of the ones that are going to meet with the Office of Management and Budget do you think are anti-vaping? I want to get your all's opinion on this. And then I'll tell you how many. Because I've been looking at them very closely. And just so everybody knows, there is something right now that the VTA would like for everybody to fill out. And I am asking everybody to do it as well. This I will ask you to do, because this is going to help the VTA when they go in to talk to the Office of Management and Budget. This is their Vapor Vote page. It's basically just a quick survey. It takes not even 5 minutes, like 2 minutes to fill out. You just put your name, your email, your zip code, and you say you use flavored vapor to quit smoking or reduce smoking, and the flavor category that you used. That's all it is. And let me tell you something. This will be instrumental when the VTA goes to talk to them. Because as of right now, and this is what people don't understand, the Office of Management and Budget always says no at significant economic impact until they've actually talked to people. So certain individuals that try to highlight that and say, well, they've already said there's no economic impact, are full of shit. Bottom line, they're full of shit. And if you think they're not, then you know what? You haven't been listening to me. Because here's the thing. They will talk to these individuals. They will talk to these groups. And there's only one. They're coming with like 4 or 5 groups. But only one meeting is anti. The rest of the 15 are pro-vaping. The rest of the 12 to 15. And it's 2 pages. I'm not definite if it's 12 or 15. I'm not sure which, because I can't get in there. And it's not loading for Trigger either. So, you know, that's a good thing. And today I'm kind of wound up. That's why I probably didn't need this coffee. And there has been a new FDA commissioner announced. I forgot to pull up the link for that, so give me 1 second. His name is Dr. Stephen Hahn. Now, I've done some research on this man. I have done some research, and I'm telling you right now, I honestly think this guy is a good guy. I really do. For one, he's not in Big Pharma's pocket. He, unlike Gottlieb, unlike Sharpless, is not a, for lack of a better way to say it, and unlike the other idiots, he is not a career politician and a career regulation individual. He is the doctor that we all need and the doctor that we want. I don't honestly believe he's the doctor we deserve. But because the way a lot of people have been acting in the last year, I honestly don't think we deserve a doctor that may actually listen to us. I'm going to be honest, guys, and you know that's how I am. This doctor was announced yesterday. But Ned Sharpless is returning to his role as the director of the National Cancer Institute, and the deputy director of Health and Human Services is moving into the commissioner's position until this guy gets nominated. Now, I will tell you, it's going to be a tough nomination. It really will, if he comes out even slightly in support of us. So, if he kind of says things that may not sound great, give it time, because, he's from the he's the chief medical executive at the University of Texas Anderson Cancer Center. So he's from Texas. And he's not a career politician. That is what we have needed in that position. And he's a professor in a college. Again, that is what we need. And when asked to describe himself, he used one word: energetic. But this guy, he looks amazing. He really does. He looks like he's going to be a great commissioner if he gets nominated, or if he gets appointed. So now we're just waiting on him to be confirmed by the Senate. Luckily, Republicans control the Senate, so he can probably get through. Unless they try to filibuster it. That's the only thing I worry about, is that the Democrats will try to filibuster it, but we always have the nuclear option. So, now, the CDC has released new numbers as of Thursday, and they release these every Thursday. So, if you, oh no, I didn't give you guys the link for, I'll pull that back up here in a minute. Here is the outbreak information, and the number for THC related is now up to 85%. That is a big number. 85%. Out of 867 patients. 86% were reported using THC containing products. And 34% of those were exclusively using THC. When you go and look at who supposedly exclusively said they were using e-cigarettes, it is only 11%. How many of those do you think actually only was using nicotine-containing products? My gut tells me none of them. And all these came out, majority of them came out of states that were not rec marijuana, so therefore, they're not going, a lot of them will not flat out say, yeah, I was using THC. And we do have 2 bills in Congress right now. Or, well, technically 2, but the 2 are the same bill. And I'm going to share both of those with you guys as well. Now, if there's anything I need to stop on, make sure to yell at me and say, hey, dude, stop. Let me know something. If you have questions, I'm a fast talker. You guys know that. If you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. Right, Stephen, but we got tied into it. That's why we have to bring that up. I'm bringing it up just to say, hey, it's showing more and more that it was THC. At first it was 75. At first it was 60. Then it was 75. Now it's 86. So that number's probably going to grow. But the two bills right now are H.R. 3942 and its sister bill, Senate Bill 1253. That was for 3942. And you can get the link for 3942 through going to that link as well. Yeah, that is true. You know, it is just a truthful, factual talking point. Now, H.R. 3942. Let's talk a little bit about that because, in all honesty, we have brought a lot of this on ourselves. I'm going to be, I always keep it real with you guys. I'm blunt and I keep it real. We brought a lot of this on ourselves because H.R. 3942, what it does is, it is a bill to restrict online sales. We, as an industry, have not adapted best practices for online sales. Let's be truthful, guys. We haven't. Yes, they'll have age verification, but how many people actually have to send their ID in for age verification? Or how many people actually have to put their ID number in for age verification? Very few. I know when I had my business, I required age verification. I wanted to see an ID, no matter what. I requested a picture of the ID, and you do not know how many people that was hard to get from because they did not have to ever do it. That was one of the things that held up my site because I was requiring people to send me their ID. People have gotten too lazy, and that's how we're getting a lot of. But how many times has it been true age verification, though, Stephen? How many times have you had to send a copy of your ID or enter your actual ID code numbers? That's what I want to know. How many times have you had to actually enter your ID's number? Because that is the only true way to do a true age verification. Like here in Charleston, guess how many Robert Williamses we have in the Charleston area? At least 50. At least. But see, here's the thing, Stephen. Just because you're providing your debit card doesn't mean you're the person that's ordering. That's the key. I do not trust debit card age verification. Because the thing is, you do not always, you can have a completely different name on your card. Yeah, now there's a lot of other places doing it, but it didn't used to be that way, Stephen. In the last year, look at how many sites are still getting warning letters for online sales to minors. Look at how many are still getting them. There's still a good amount of online sites getting that. It's because of non-proper age verification. But this bill, because of that, now here's the thing. 3942 can be changed. Because what it is it's connecting to the original bill where it prevents the sale of everything of tobacco except for cigars. Cigars are not included in the original bill. But this is actually coming from the Cornell Law School for the U.S. Code Text Title 18, 1716E. And this is about the sales of tobacco. all it's doing is it's basically giving us the same, saying that we are not able to ship USPS because that is the only one that they can actually monitor. That is the only one they can control. So, in a way, it's online sales ban, but in a way, it's not because these companies that are using USPS, all they got to do is switch over to UPS or FedEx. It's going to cost more, but they can switch over to the others because it does not ban it with all the others. And that's what people are not telling you. If you've heard about this bill before, all they're telling you is it's an online sales ban. When it's not, it's just for USPS. Because that's the only one they can control. So, woo! Man, I am moving good today. But yeah, Steven, there are some out there that are good, but I mean, I've never had to provide my information to 8 Vape. I've never had to provide my information to Element Vape. I've never had to provide my information to Vapor DNA. But I will tell you, well, Trigger, they can always ship via UPS or FedEx. A lot of them will do that. A lot of them will probably switch to UPS or FedEx. Not everywhere. Not everywhere UPS doesn't. And if it says it has to go UPS, UPS will ship it the whole way. Because I get some things via UPS and I get some things via FedEx here. Sometimes even my UPS shipping, they lower the cost because at one time they transferred over to USPS. Yeah, it's going to be higher shipping. It really will. But you'll still have that option. So, I mean, yeah, it's give and take here again. It's give and take. Now, Altria, we're getting into some nice issues going on right now. Altria is having issues with Juul. Well, Steven, I get them both ways. I get straight UPS and I get USPS via UPS. It all depends on price. That's the whole thing. UPS will deliver straight to you for a price. Trigger, I don't think it will be, in all honesty, because UPS is going to have both UPS and UPS and FedEx will be getting more business for one. So their prices may go down. In all honesty, I would not doubt that happens. But the funny part is, all you have to do is don't declare. The only thing I look for that to go off of, though, is e-liquid. Because as long as you don't declare it's a tobacco product, as long as you do not declare it's a tobacco product, you can get away with shipping USPS if that goes through. But if it's coming from they may just have to cover their name and just not. It may be like a UPS switch over to USPS and just not declare the name of the company on there. They may have to go under fictitious business names to send products. That might even be what they're going to do. If they're sending USPS or UPS to USPS, change it to a fictitious business name. Like EV for Element Vape or VD for Vapor DNA, and just not declare what company it's coming from. It's a little under the table, but it's still a possibility. Now, back to what I was talking about. Altria has now decided, because of all these vape bans and because of the possible flavor restrictions, they are writing down Juul. Now, what does that mean? Oh, here is the fun part. What Altria has done is, because they purchased Juul for, I believe it was 16.8 million or $16.8 billion evaluation. They took the evaluation on their side from 16.8 down to just over $8 billion. It's like an $8.3 billion, 12.3 to $8.3 billion evaluation. That is killing Juul under their roof, because that means they're probably going to be saying, we're going to write this off. That's the main reason they're doing it. It's a write-off for them. Because they're going to lose money. The evaluation is a lot lower than what they expected for this year. They can always raise that again, but they have wrote down Juul, which, for them to have just acquired it in December, that is big. Okay, now for some state issues, guys. And it's only 9:30. Today we're probably only going till 10, because with no discussion from Anthony or well, honestly, Trigger, I would not be surprised if they try to sell Juul off. I would not be surprised. Do not be surprised if Altria tries to sell their stocks to Juul, or tries to fully acquire Juul and take on full ownership. Do not be surprised. They've already taken over the CEO. Already. Do not be surprised if they try to take full ownership of Juul. Oh, I agree with you, Steven. It needs to be out of C-stores. Bottom line. And that's why I do support the VTA, what they've been pushing recently. And that's why I've sent out that little thing. Yeah, they may not even get approved. Which I think they will. I think Juul will get approved, and I really think that e-liquid will get approved. But people are too scared to submit. And that is what I have said since the beginning. They are too scared to submit. Yeah, they did ship out some contaminated cartridges. I didn't grab the link for that article, and I didn't really read it that well, so I don't want to really talk about it. But I did hear also that they did ship out some contaminated cartridges. Now, okay, to the states. We have a rogue agent in Washington State. The Washington bill does not include personal ownership of e-liquid. So if an individual owns e-liquid and it is not sold to them in the state of Washington, they are okay. So if they live on the border, they can go across the border. Or if they can find a company that'll ship in, which they're not really supposed to, but if they can find a company that will, they could get a hold of e-liquid. Well, the other day, in a shop, one of their investigators for Washington State came in the shop. Here's the article for you guys. Actually, I'm not able to share that one. Crap. I'm going to have to shorten that link. Give me a second. But what happened was somebody came into the shop. And when they came in, they were checking to see if the shop had any of their actual flavored e-liquids for sale. Well, they go in there and somebody has a flavored e-liquid. As a consumer, they threatened to shut down the shop that the consumer was in. There's the link for this. They threatened to shut down the shop that the consumer was talking to the individual, even though they had no flavored e-liquids for sale on the floor. And they threatened a fine to the consumer. That is against the law that they have up there right now. Washington State is saying, well, we understand this. We've had a complaint. We are not commenting on this. But the shop owner has been very, very upfront about what happened. So I want to see what, I'm going to continue to watch this and see what happens with this situation. I might even try to talk to the individual myself and see if I can get them on the show. Well, it's scrolling on my screen. I don't know why it's not scrolling for you, Trigger. But, so that is what is going there. And for anyone in New York, there is actually, in New York State, your Senate announced a public hearing on regulating e-cigarettes and vaping. There's the link for that. For anyone, I know I have at least 2 people, Jerry and Bruce, that watch on the regular, that live in New York. So if I were you guys, if you live close to Albany, and it'll be held Monday. So if you can make it on Monday the 4th, I'd recommend going. If you live in Washington, I'd recommend going. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm still doing the show next Saturday. Hey, Bruce. I figured you would be. I know you watch almost every show, so... Well, what I would recommend is contact Senator Kevin Thomas and Shelley B. Mayer and Senator Gustavo Rivera. They're all listed on that website. Contact them and, call them and let them know how this would affect you. Call them and let them know what you're doing. Call them on Monday. That's what I recommend, in all honesty. Now, let me see if there's any other news, because that is all the news I had for today. Let me see if I can get the OMB to open up again. No, the OMB is still screwing up for me. I don't know why. I figured again, Jerry, you'd be here. I knew probably you and Bruce were lurking, because I know how you two are. But, that's the thing. we have to make sure to fight. I do agree with that. Everybody does their own style of fighting. Personally, for me right now, my style of fighting is contacting the people. And in all honesty, I am happy. Back to what we were talking about at the beginning. I am so happy that the OMB is stretched out to at least the 15th. My gut tells me that they are going to come back. Now, let's talk about that because, we do have a history with the Office of Management and Budget on this same issue. And that's what a lot of people don't tell you. We do have a history. Back in 2015, the original final rule had a flavor ban. Well, guess what? Because of the Office of Management and Budget finding that it was going to be a significant economic impact, requested for it to be removed. Now, there hasn't been that much change in the Office of Management and Budget, to be honest with you. Most of these offices stay the same. Maybe the leader won't change, but the actual workers stay the same for the most part. And my gut tells me it is going to be shot down once again when, after all these meetings that they have with our people especially. And here's the thing. If our people go in there with the right mentality, because Enjoy is going in there. These are just some of the people I remember seeing. Enjoy is going in there. A cigar organization is going in there. A straight tobacco organization is going straight in there. There's a couple vape shops that actually, I don't know if they're nationals, but they set up meetings. VTA. If these companies go in there the right way, it will get shot down in a heartbeat. But if they go in there the wrong way, it won't make an impact. They have to go in there the right way. And the right way is not going in there and saying, if you pass this, if you let this go through, Trump will lose the election. They don't give a damn in the Office of Management and Budget if he wins or loses. Because most of them, their jobs are cushy. They don't lose their jobs if the president changes. The way they need to go in there and talk to this is the impact. How many vape shops we currently have in America. How much on the average those vape shops pay. How many companies are e-liquid companies, as well as our co-packers, everybody else, that will have to either, if it's a co-packer that works for something other than nicotine, that'll either have to cut their whole nicotine production lines and fire all those people. That is how they are going to win this, is going in there and fighting it with how many people are going to lose jobs over this. How many dollars are going to leave. No, Trigger, I'm going to tell you right now, I say this every time that somebody brings this up, and I'm going to be honest with you. Had we had anybody else from the 2016 elections, and I'm saying any of the Democrats, Bernie or Hillary, had we had either of them in the White House on August 8th of 2018, we would be dead today. We have had a year reprieve. And it's not a ban. See, the thing is, I agree. It's out of our control no matter what because of Judge Grimm. See, you got to remember, Judge Grimm is who caused us to have it bumped up to 2020. If the Trump administration had their way, we would have been 2022. You got to remember it that way. If they had their way, it'd be to 2022. But the whole thing is, if our shops, or I'm sorry, not our shops, if our liquid lines had gotten off their butts and actually did the work for the PMTA, we wouldn't be in this situation. Oh, I'm not saying that I'm not going to vote for Trump because you know what? I think he's done a lot for the industry. I really do. He gave us a reprieve. His administration could have said, you know what? 2018, that's the end. He could have flat out said, I am cutting everything August 8th of 2018. And he didn't. His administration gave us a reprieve. It was only a year reprieve, but it was still a reprieve. And you know what, Wendy? I'm the same way. It's pissing me off too. I correct every single person because it's not technically a flavor ban. It is a flavor restriction until they are submitted. Oh, and I haven't changed it, guys, but just to let you know, DIY is now moved to Wednesday. NVR Live, we will be starting to do it again either Monday or Tuesday nights. Just so everybody knows. Tomorrow night, we will not be doing Geek Out. You know I even tick off a lot of people because I put the blame where it belongs. And our industry wants to blame everybody else. It's our own damn fault. Excuse my French. It is our fault. Not the consumer. It is the industry's own fault for not getting off their butts and actually submitting and getting the testing done that they could before that paper came out telling them everything they needed. It was our own damn fault for not going out and actually starting the work early. We have had 3 years knowing that this day was coming. And we haven't gotten off our asses and done anything. Yeah, but sadly, Trigger, this issue, everybody also wants to say this is not a partisan issue. It is. It's became a partisan issue. Vaping has become a partisan issue. Look at the facts. Watch. Oh, I agree. But the thing is, people are just not understanding. People will not listen to you when you try to say it's not his fault. It is everybody else's fault. How am I turning people off? That's what I want to know. And that's what I'm giving, Steven. I'm giving truthful, factual information. And see, that's the problem. Not as many. Brent Stafford don't even get the support he deserves in this industry in America. He gets it in Canada, but he does not get the support he deserves. There's really not that much more that you have to prove, Stephen. You know, they had 3 years. And you have to, in order to understand the partisan side of this, in order to understand it, you have to actually dig deep. And a lot of people don't want to dig deep. That's the honest truth. You know, if anybody sees a way I need to change an approach to something, you say it. I'd be more than happy to listen to you. If you think my approach to something is wrong, tell me. I'm not all knowing. I'm not a god. You know, I'm not going to, if somebody would say, "Are you a god?" I'm not going to say no, or I'm not going to say yes. I'm going to say, "No, I'm not a god." Because I screw up. I'll be honest. Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying there's not anti-vaping Republicans. I'm not saying that. But for the most part, federally, Democrats are the anti-vaping. And let me see which one you're talking about, because if it's who I think it is, he may have been switched over. And see, there's... But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You know, you just got to look at the issues. And you got to talk to the people. If you're not talking to people, they're... And, you know, I know, Bruce, you're going to disagree with me on this, but federal health care is not the answer when it comes to vaping. Yes, it works in England, but it ain't going to work here. They are too dead set. See, this is the problem. Here in America, we have always been 10 years behind England. And we're like that with vaping. In all honesty, we are behind England. And in all honesty, I would not doubt if 2026 is when they start getting on, is when everybody starts getting on board like England. Oh, I agree with you, Stephen. Bruce, I can concur that. It is an interesting conversation to have, but the science has always been 10 years behind. So, we're going to be fighting for a while. And Royal College of Physicians didn't come out till, I believe, 2016 or 2015. See, what we need, honestly, is we'll know when this new FDA commissioner gets in there the type of person he is. Because, if he is going to be even partially pro, which everybody gave Scott Gottlieb a bad time, he was decent to us. A lot better than what a lot of people made him out to be. He was a lot better to us than he probably had to be. Right. Politicians are always behind science, or are always way behind the science. Because they don't want to listen to anything but American. That's what I'm getting at. The American science, though, behind this is still behind. Because we have not done the correct scientific studies here in America. And there is a Republican divide. I won't denounce that. There is a divide when it comes to vaping. But it's much smaller. At least there's a divide and not all against us. That's the scary thing is, this online ban this shipping ban that they have. I want to say it's a shipping ban because that's what it really is. It is really a shipping ban. And this shipping ban, basically it's USPS shipping ban. I'll say it that way. That's the best way to say it. But the USPS shipping ban, like I said, we brought it on ourselves by not wanting to support like IDing at the door, by not wanting to support providing our ID upon purchase. We wanted it quick and easy like Amazon. Let's be honest, guys, because I've had this discussion with somebody online today, too. They were like, why isn't eBay allowing vapes anymore? Because eBay does not have correct age verification. They do not have a correct shipping method. Nothing with that is correct. Same with Amazon. Wish needs to remove it. That's probably where some of the youth are getting some of their things, is Wish. Because it's so cheap to buy Wish. And guys, I try to share everything I can. Yeah, on the Vapin Minuteman Facebook. If I don't share it there, I share it on my main, Robert Williams. If I'm not one of your friends, go ahead and add me. I've got the Flavors logo that everybody's been using. I've got that as my main picture. So, search for me, Robert Williams, and you'll probably find me. Exactly, Jerry. They have zero age verification. But everybody wants that quick and easy. They don't want to be verified correctly. Well, Stephen, the thing is, the hardware side is part of the problem. Because that's how some people are getting their hardware. The e-liquid, it's easy to get black market. It needs to honestly be vape-only online stores. ID upon delivery, ID upon sale. Bottom line. That's what needs to happen for online. If they allow for an online sale, it needs to be ID upon delivery, ID upon sale. You need double age verification or double ID verification. Because we have to figure out a way to show that we're actually willing to work with them to stop the youth from getting a hold of any of our products. I will do anything to stop it. Well, it's not really a ban because you can buy it from a main store. That's the whole thing. That's the way I'm looking at it. It's just limiting where you can buy it. That's all it is. Not making it to where it's accessible no matter what. I don't think they'll use them to destroy us, in all honesty. Because the thing is, we should embrace these changes, Stephen. We should embrace them. Because I'll be honest, I am against banning anything for anybody, in all honesty. I'll tell you right now, if I had a kid, I caught them smoking, I would probably buy them a vape. I'm being honest here. But it would stay in my house. I would have full control over it. You know, that's the difference. It's parenting. But we have to show a willingness to work with them on these issues. Yeah, it is discipline, but the thing is, we're in a nation right now that shows very little accountability to parents. And that's part of the problem too. It's the way our nation is right now. Parents don't get held accountable. If parents were held accountable, how many of the... let's be honest here, guys. If parents were held accountable, if their children were found with jewels, how many of these do you think would actually get jewels in their hands and be caught with them in school? How many of them do you think would actually be caught with them in school? Very few if parents were held accountable. But, guys, when I come on here, this is my time to just blurb it out. And that's why I like the discussions. That's what I love about it. Hey, Sing Callie, good to see you today. And, yes, we really live in a nanny state. We do. But we also do have to show a willingness to work with them. Which is sad, but it's the truth. And, I know my opinions are not the most popular. I know that. Most people hate me for my opinions. But they're my opinions. And if you disagree with me, put it in the comments. Let's have a discussion about it. Don't be a dick about it, but let's have a discussion. Because there are people that are dicks about it. I'll tell you right now, if somebody's a dick about it, I delete their comment. Some people can be real dicks, but a lot of people I won't even get the discussion going because they're just dicks about it. No, but let's be honest, Trigger. Even people that don't have them can be them. Because trust me, I've seen a lot of women be dicks. And see, but yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and head out of here. It is 10:10. And I need to get to bed. And since Anthony's not here, like I said, if you disagree with what I've said today, any of it that was my opinion, don't be a dick about it, but put it in the comments. Let's discuss it. But we are going to head out of here, guys, and we will see you on Monday or Tuesday. I don't know which one yet. For NVR Live, probably late at night. And then on Friday, or on Wednesday, we will have DIY with Professor Minuteman. We will see you guys later. Oh. Hey, if you like what you've seen here, there's much more to come. Just click one of the two boxes up here in the corner. And you know what? If you've liked it, make sure to subscribe. Just click the little button right there. Talk to you later, guys.